All right, we're back. Just talking some video games.
Yeah.
You haven't played anything new, have you?
No, not really. I've been playing a lot of Madden 12, by the way.
Madden 12?
Yeah, so here's what we recently a couple of my friends went through a breakup, right? And so we helped the girl mover stuff up about an hour away where her mom lives. Well, unbeknownst to us, me and my buddy who helped her move, she accidentally jacked his Madden 17. And like that's what we always play Madden 17.
Don't you have Madden 17?
For PS4. He has Xbox.
Oh.
And so we would always play that when we go and hang out or whatever. And a couple weeks ago, he was like, dude, she jacked my game. I was like, oh, that reminds me. I need to get a hold of her today so she can get it. And so, yeah, we've been playing a lot of Madden 12. Because it's like we want to play Madden, but...
Why not bring your PlayStation 4 over?
Yeah. I'm not big on the whole unplugging and moving it thing.
Yeah, I mean, I moved mine like between my bedroom and my living room.
Yeah, but that's like in the house.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. But yeah, there's a lot less that can happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think I could play it though.
It's actually not that bad.
We were talking about Red Dead Redemption, how I got that, and the graphics are just so bad I can't get into it.
Yeah, you know the graphics aren't great, but it doesn't bother me all that much.
Especially after like dealing with 17, where it's
on new gen.
I still play fucking Madden 17. Like, there's a lot of other games coming out and they've been out and whatever. I mean, that, and of course, Final Fantasy 14, which that's a game that's killing me. Because it costs a sub fee, so you're paying a subscription, and you paid the game already. And it's like, should I get any more games? Because I'm already paying so much for this stupid game.
Yeah.
It's a great game, but still.
I get that. I'm not big on paying for games. Like that, I mean.
I wasn't either until I played that game. And let me tell you this, too. I'm established. Like, financially, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, but before that, like, that was the reason I didn't play EverQuest or Warcraft or any of those, because I didn't want to pay. I really couldn't afford it, to be honest. Well, I could, but then it's like, I can't buy any new games and whatever, but yeah. I'll say this, it's worth it if you have the money. But if you don't have the money, it's not, like, why?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But yeah, we're talking about, like, the new Telltale games coming in. Fucking love the Telltale games. The new Batman's going to be awesome.
I know.
I love where the last season dropped off at. I still haven't finished the new Walking Dead yet.
I haven't played any of the Walking Deads.
The Walking Deads are the best.
That's what I've heard.
I mean, they're fantastic. There again, if you had PlayStation Plus, though, you would have gotten them for free. They're free.
Yep.
Actually, in fact, I think they're free all the time, I think. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, I believe so. I'm not sure. I don't know. I know on your phone you can get, like, episode 1 for free.
Ooh.
I'm pretty sure you can on the PlayStation as well. But not the point. So what we did want to talk about, though, coming back, we didn't discuss our favorite man in the planet
Alex Jones.
at all. No, I was going to say Donald Trump.
Oh, the Donald.
We hadn't talked about him at all.
Okay.
How do you go 2-3 weeks and not talk about Trump?
I know.
I mean, come on. He's the man. Anyway, if any of you caught the amazing, and what some people say, including the head of the Boy Scouts, said the greatest speech he's ever heard, as Donald Trump addressed the Boy Scouts. Did you hear?
I did.
What did you think of the speech?
Yeah. It was subpar.
It was weird.
It was weird.
Going off on all these tangents about, for one, talking about the emails and the,
stuff that's kind of
Russian
irrelevant,
stuff.
to be honest.
Yeah, well, but it was a rah-rah speech.
Right.
And it's like, that's not what you're here for. These are Boy Scouts. You should be saying, hey, we're proud of you. You're an asset to America, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
I love the Boy Scouts.
Not for you.
Yeah, this isn't for you. Anyway, the head of the Boy Scouts, who Trump said, called him and talked to him and said, that was the greatest speech I've ever heard. We thank you, blah, blah, blah. The head of the Boy Scouts released a statement where he actually apologized for Trump's speech, which is bad. Yeah. And also concluded in saying, I never had that conversation with President Trump.
Wow.
Kind of weird.
How pathetic is this guy?
Right? I mean...
Are you that desperate for attention?
But he had other problems. I think maybe it's senilism. The Alzheimer's is starting to... Because here's the thing, too. He also said that he had a conversation with Mexican president about the immigration bill.
Right.
And apparently the Mexican president said you're doing great things with this immigration bill. Love the immigration bill. They talked to the Mexican president, and he's like, I never said that.
No, right.
So I'm thinking,
and
maybe,
why would he?
Maybe Trump's like in his office, just like with a banana, like just talking, like and he's having these conversations with these people.
And when you think about, why would the Mexican president say that?
Oh, I know.
Like, oh yeah, I really love that you're fucking us over.
I love how you're doing this to us. Yeah.
Why would he ever, in the first place, honestly say, yeah, this is a good idea?
I love the wall. I think it's a great idea, and we're going to pay for it.
Yeah, no, definitely.
No, it's so fucking stupid. And when you line up with some of his senilism, I don't even know if senilism is a word, but
Senility.
I'm making it a word. Salinity, there we go.
Senility.
Whatever the fuck. I don't know if you've seen the letters letter. I know for sure there's one letter that Trump's biggest fan sent to him, and that Sarah Huckabee Sanders read.
Yeah.
Did you see that from that 9-year-old boy?
No, I never read it.
You should read it. I can't do it word for word. This is a 9-year-old boy. Andrew, I believe is his name, and he goes by Pickles.
Okay.
That wrote a letter to the president. One in which where it starts off this way: "Hi, my name Andrew, but people call me Pickles.
I was as a kid,
9 years old, misspelled things like future and money.
This kid's 9 years old.
That's my point. That's the writing on it looked like my son has better handwriting than this writing.
So was it forged, or is this kid actually retarded?
Here's what I think. Honestly, I think it's fake.
I do too.
I think Trump's team said, "Hey, this will be great for we're the lowest that any presidential person has ever polled. Any president has polled in like the first 6 months. We've got to do something. Let's create this kid." Which is holy shit. How that is. I mean, we're not doing great at our show, but we're not creating like Facebook accounts and being like, "Oh, we love this show." But how bad are you when this is what you're doing? There's no proof he's doing this. But I'm going to say, yes.
It's like that fucking Santa Claus guy that claimed the kid died in his arms or whatever.
Yes. Oh, my God.
People are just using these poor kids. Pickles. Poor Pickles.
Pickles was the kid that died.
I know somewhere out there is a kid named Andrew, and he does go by Pickles, and he's like, well, what the fuck?
Yeah, I didn't do this. I've got like 8th grade handwriting. I'm not a retard.
Right?
Uh-oh.
There it is.
No, but like, yeah, it's got to be fake, and it's got to be from this delusional, insane president that we have. And it's not even the point. Like, none of these things would be talking points if he wasn't fucking delusional.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they've said, well, you libs go after Trump and blah, blah. Everyone hates Trump. How come no one went after Obama? Obama didn't do weird shit like this. That's why. He didn't give any fodder for people to go after.
I don't even know where to start with Trump anymore. Because it's like, I hear about stories like this where he probably forged a letter from a 9-year-old kid.
Here's what's funny, though. He thought he did it right.
Right? And I'm just... This is our president.
Right?
There's so many
That's
things,
where we're at.
There's so many things I could say about this, but I'm so awestruck by the fact that this is the guy who's in charge of our country.
Right. And the fact...
This is like a bad dream.
Here's where it comes down to, is knowing conservatives that still back him. And you're like...
No.
I thought you were... Like, come on. Right? How much Kool-Aid did you drink, nigga?
Right?
Like...
Right?
How bad is this shit?
Oh.
And there's a lot of smart people I know that are Trump supporters, and like...
Yeah.
Like, like, those are the kind of people, by the way, that you start thinking, man, if shit went down, they might kill me.
And you say a bunch of smart people, but if you think about the smartest people, they're Democrats.
I wouldn't say that, but
Really?
I just wouldn't say that, but I'm not disagreeing with you.
I'll
Like,
say
well, because
it.
it's an elitist. That liberals always feel like they're above everyone. And
No, but I mean, check it out. Literally, IQ, what? Stephen Hawking, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Bill Nye, some of the smartest people, they're all Democrats.
again, I'm not going to debate
saying it
that
from an
at
elitist
all.
thing. I'm saying it from a factual thing. The smartest people on our planet are Democrats.
That's probably true. Although I will say a few really smart Republicans, Anthony Cumia,
Smart, but lacks common sense.
you a little bit. Great guy, hilarious,
He is.
fantastic human being, kind of. if you're the right shade,
Right?
No, but there's a lot of smart people that are Republicans, and in fact, that's one of the things I'm really proud of about this group. That a lot of them, and this is what's weird. You have a lot of people, and we live in the Midwest,
Yeah.
so they blindly follow the R,
Right.
and so blind that they don't pay attention to what the R is actually doing. A lot of Republicans are starting to come out and say, fuck Trump.
Yeah, they
A lot
are.
of the senators and a lot of those guys are like, not. In fact, one of the senators, and I wish I knew his name. I wish I didn't. But he released a book, and I'm sure if you just search Senate, Republican book anti-Trump, Google, you'll probably get all the information. But where he does just bash Trump,
Yeah.
and it just came out.
I remember exactly what you're talking about.
And I think it's called like the conscience of a conservative or something like that. I can't remember, and it might be, but this whole side, I can't tell you what the name of it is because I'm starting to actually think that was a different book that this was kind of based off of. Not only based off of, but it was like, hey, I'm taking my stance.
You're not talking about Jeff Flake's thing, are you?
Where's he from?
Paralyzed critic, maybe.
Maybe. I don't think that's it, but that might be just another one of these. There's a lot. I mean, there's been
He's
a few.
from Arizona.
No, it's not.
No?
No.
Where's he from?
I don't know.
Because all I am seeing is Jeff Flake.
I'm pretty sure it's not it.
And this was from like 2 days ago.
Oh, maybe it was then. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm probably wrong. Yes, I just heard it in passing, and one of those stories. I thought it was great what he was doing, but I didn't. In the story I was reading, it talked about a lot of other conservatives too, and a lot of statesmen who are coming out against Trump, and I kind of forgot like individual names, but and one of them I didn't forget though was like John McCain, who, for as much as, here's the thing too I hate about conservatives and whatever, and trust me, Democrats do the same thing. When Nancy Pelosi gets in trouble or something like that, they ask Democrats, like, well, what do you think? And like, well, I haven't really worked with her long enough. Yeah, right. You've been here for like 15 years. How do you not fucking know?
Right.
But they all hate John McCain now.
Yeah, I know.
They fucking despise him, And
I got a lot of
it's like,
respect for John McCain.
that dude, regardless of anything else, he fought for our country, was captured, could have left
Yeah.
imprisonment, but didn't want to because he didn't want to leave his men behind. That's all you need to do.
Plus,
Like right there, that's it. That's all you got to do to get respect.
He ran in 08, right? Not 12?
Right, it was 08.
He defended Obama every time.
He
did. There were countless times where he's like, no, he's a good guy. He's a family guy. I mean, like, he still had to do the whole, like, well, I think I'm a better candidate.
Right,
And he said that.
He thought
I
his
get
policies were better. He thought
But when people said,
he's a Muslim.
yeah, he's like, no, he's a
Not
good guy.
He's not a
So
terrorist.
I got mad respect for him, really.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you can defend the opponent.
He's a guy not getting dirty.
Right,
He's
yeah.
doing what he thinks right. Yeah, I mean, but they fucking hate him.
I mean, I don't think he would make a good president. Don't get me wrong. I don't like his policies, especially now because he's a little woo. But
he's not. Yeah, I mean, well, and here's the thing too. had he not, and I think it was more his team, not him, but had they not chosen Palin, it probably would have been President
I
McCain.
think you're probably right.
Once Palin got on that ticket, holy shit, it was over.
Yeah, it was.
Like,
oh,
you know, but anyway, when he, you know, as he came in and voted against the repealing the healthcare bill, you know, 2 days after a brain surgery, by the way.
yeah, what a trooper.
Fucking tough. It was interesting too because you saw a lot of Republican senators. They didn't cheer like the Democrats did.
Yeah.
But you saw they were like, "Oh, thank God."
Yeah.
There was a lot of relief on their face because they know if this gets repealed, they don't stand a chance in the next elections coming up. And a lot of these term elections are going to be, you know, I think they're going to lose anyway. I think Democrats will take it. Happens all the time. After we get a president and they have majority, that next term election always goes to the other party.
Yeah.
We're a pretty in the middle kind of people.
Well, and I find it interesting that you hear these people complaining about how, well, Obamacare is just awful. And Trump himself, you know, I don't know how many times on Twitter I've seen like, oh yeah, you know, we're gonna create a better healthcare plan. This one we're working on is really great or whatever.
It's the greatest. You'll be covered for everything,
and then
and not have to pay
most
anything.
of the Republicans don't back it.
Yeah,
and it doesn't get through.
It's bad.
It doesn't go anywhere at all.
It's really bad.
And I don't. And you know, I think this is a perfect opportunity for Democrats and Republicans to really come together.
I think so,
I
too.
really do believe that Republicans and Democrats need to come together more and talk more instead of this whole combative, you know, R versus D thing. And this is a perfect opportunity for it. We're agreeing on something big too. One of the biggest things I would argue as a president that you have to decide.
Here would be one of the problems, though, is you do have a good number of Republicans who actually don't want to repeal it because they think the plan coming from Trump is still too much. There should be no health care.
Oh, yeah.
But there's a lot of people, a lot of their constituents, you know, say, yeah, Obamacare is not perfect, but it's better than nothing.
Right.
And I think we should be at that point where we've moved on that we're going to ever get rid of healthcare again.
Right.
It's there. It's not going away. I really don't think we are. You've given this to the people, and now the people are like, you're not fucking taking this away.
I'm not worried about a perfect healthcare.
But
it's
I do
not
think
going to happen.
I do think there's plenty of opportunities to work on it now, though. We can make it a lot better.
We can make it a lot better. The hopes of a perfect president or perfect healthcare is just unrealistic.
Oh, it's never going to be perfect. Never.
It's unrealistic.
But we can make it better.
Right. And I mean, really, the biggest flaw with Obamacare is just that you get fined if you don't have it.
Right.
Like, I'm probably going to get fined.
Probably. Well, I don't know.
I don't have it.
Yeah, but you also don't really have an income.
That's true.
You know, I don't think they're going to try to squeeze blood from a turnip, you know?
Maybe.
I mean, I don't know, but I'm guessing.
Turnip? Is that some sort of joke?
It's better than an eggplant.
I guess.
And while we're talking about Trump and his delusional, I'm all over the place, we've never heard Obama go to Twitter and say something that no one else in his constituent, in his, whatever you want to say, in his group weren't aware of. We didn't ever see Obama tweet, well, no more Mexicans in the military.
Yeah.
Nope. Never saw that.
Right.
But we do with Trump here, as we look at the transgender situation, where I found it really weird that nobody else knew what he was talking about. What the fuck is he doing? I mean, you might have had like this small group of people who were in on it, but most conservatives had no idea. A lot of military guys, a lot of officials in the military had no idea what he's like. What? Why is he tweeting that transgenders are no longer allowed in the military? One of the things that I saw was that we can't afford their health care, which again kind of comes back to a healthcare situation. But only 4% of our military is transgender. So how much is that really costing?
Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. Part of me does agree with this based on the fact that, so when you get into the military, since it falls under health, and I was talking about this with a buddy of mine that's actually in the military, he kind of told me some things I didn't know. When you get in and they pay for it, right? It's about a year-long process.
Yeah.
So between everything you have to do and contract time, you have about a year left after you're done healing. And in that year, you haven't done shit. So you've pretty much been paying them for nothing. I don't think,
But it's
first
not,
of all...
that's not how that works, though.
Yeah, it is.
No, you don't just sign up and then get an operation, and then you're okay. You know, you can heal for a year. You've
Right.
got to earn that time.
Right. But that's still a year that you're out of commission when you're under contract.
Arguably, but there's also a lot of them that, you know, we'll look at the other side of it. And again, I have no problem with this either. But what about the parents of new children that are also in the military, and the military is paying for people to have children, women specifically, and they're out for like a year because they, you know, they can't do half the shit with their baby in their belly, and then once they give birth, like then they can't really run around because their twat might split open.
Right.
And the military is paying for that.
Yeah.
What about that? Do we stop doing that? Or here's another good one: the military paying for dick pills.
Yeah.
$84 million we spent on Viagra.
Right.
Which is a lot more than what's caused these transgender operations.
And that's another thing that I'm like, no, we shouldn't pay for that. Also, shouldn't have to pay for the hormones of the people who are already transgender in the military.
You know, but where's the line though?
Common sense?
What do you mean? Like, but that's
Like health. Okay, here's the thing. Under the health umbrella, I guess if that's what you want to call it, I think there's some obvious things that we should cover, like sickness, if your arm gets blown off, something like that. I'm sorry, but an operation become a different gender, I don't have a problem with it, but I don't think the military should pay for it. That's not their thing. And also, I think that if you earn that privilege for the military to pay for it, it should be after you're done. No contract once you're retired or you're not going to enlist anymore. Should not be while you're active. Period.
why? I mean, what's the?
Because then it's a year.
It's not actually a year.
It takes about a year.
No, it really doesn't. It takes about 3 months.
Okay. It takes a lot longer than that.
It really doesn't. In fact, most don't even get them chopped off. Most of it's just hormones. In fact, almost all have been just hormones. So why should we pay for that, or shouldn't pay for that, but we'll pay for anything else, like diabetes? Paying for people that have diabetes. Officers, tons of them have diabetes.
Because it's not their fault.
Yeah, it is.
No.
If they'd stop fucking getting fat and eating sugar and stuff, they
No,
wouldn't.
but it doesn't always work like that.
Type 2 diabetes, that's how it works. You take too much sugar in, you eat too much, you develop diabetes.
Okay.
So why should we pay for their insulin?
Because I would rather pay for someone's insulin to keep them alive than to pay just because you don't want to be that gender anymore.
But you're paying more for the people that can't eat right, and they're supposed to be soldiers, which means they need to be in peak physical condition,
Right.
instead of shoving jelly donuts down their throat. I don't want to pay for some fat soldier.
How sure are you that it's type 2?
Everything I was reading about this, we've spent close to $12 million in the last 2 years on type 2 diabetes. Yeah, how much we spent on the hormone. And by the way, there's only been 2 surgeries that have been documented that the military has paid for. Only 2. Both were in their mid to late 30s and were already out of the military. The money that we spent on hormones is about $5 million. So this is still double that.
Right.
So why is this a big deal?
What?
The hormone, the transgender thing. Like,
I don't like the idea of it. I don't want my tax money in the military to have to pay for you just getting a gender swap. It's really what it comes down to.
why? Why does it? But yet you're cool
because it's not the military's responsibility.
But it's the military's responsibility to handle these fat soldiers.
I don't see why not.
What? Why is it?
You still need them.
No, you don't. I mean, no, you would still need the transgender too if you're throwing that in. In fact, I would rather have the transgender physically fit soldier instead of some fat soldier who needs insulin to keep going. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, you can't be out like, I'm out on the hill sniping for hours. I'm getting shaky. Fuck, I don't have my orange juice in my shot. Like, in fact, I think that's even worse. That you're like dropping physically. You're like a running back who can't take a hit anymore without blowing out your knee.
Adrian Peterson. As
per like having a healthy person.
Mm-hmm. I guess it's a preference thing then.
No, what's the...
I mean, I told you what it is. I told you what I think
it's
about
just
it.
a personal thing. You just don't like transgender people.
No, that's not what I said.
Kind of.
No, not at all. I didn't say I don't like transgender people. I actually explicitly said I have no problem with it.
Yeah, but that's like saying, I have no problems with blacks, but I don't want them in my house. Like, that's kind of the same thing in a way, because you're saying, like, you're not giving a reason why it damns the military. Mm-hmm. But you're specifically... for a group that is damning the military.
The transgenders aren't damning the military.
No, but the people with type 2 diabetes are.
How are they damning the military?
Because you can't rely... I mean, you can't... There again, like I was joking, but you can't send them out, like... Because they need their insulin, and they need their... their fucking orange juice, or whatever else they need to keep from having a problem. Mm-hmm. That's damning... And they're doing it because... Like, they came in healthy and got fat. Mm-hmm. That's damning the military. That's hurting it. So that's what I'm saying. You're for a group that is hurting it, and against a group that isn't. Okay. And might I add, a group that's taking so little from it. It's only 4% of it, as per a group that's quite a bit more and costing quite a bit more. And then we got the dick pills.
Dick pills, I just think, are stupid overall.
Not to mention breast enlargements for your spouse. That's also covered stupid. In our military. My point is if you don't want to pay for any, like, if you're going to be we're doing anything extracurricular, like, that doesn't keep you alive from the point that you start. Mm-hmm. Like, if you start, this is how I am at 20 years old, and if this changes, the military won't pay for it, then that's fine. Let's do that with everything, though.
But that's not what I'm saying.
Kind of.
No, because at 20 years old, you may not have a diabetic problem.
Right, but I'm saying you shouldn't have to, like, we shouldn't have to pay for them not being able to handle their own diet. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, and what if they develop a heart problem not due to diet?
I don't know. I mean, then they should probably retire. No. Because they got a heart problem. What do they do in the military? Like, we're looking for guys to fight, not guys to die. Like,
right, but if they still want to.
I mean, who cares? Like,
I mean, it is their choice. If they want to still fight, and if they're good at what they do, that's one of the things that they didn't bring on themselves.
How good can you be when your fucking heart's, like, giving out on you in your 30s?
If you're taken care of, you can be fine.
Running around in infantry like that? I don't know. Like, you probably aren't going to be. And that's the other thing, too. Most of these military guys are not even infantry. Most of them, and they're in 40s, 50s, and 60s. Mm-hmm. So, here's my thing. Ultimately. Because what I'm saying is it is a small piece. This is another situation of just bigotry. And that's all it is. There's no other excuse for it. You can't say, well, I'm against it because it goes against my belief. Now, fuck your belief. Your belief is only worth 4% of a spending of a 96%, overall. If these people put their time in, it's just like a job. Mm-hmm. Any job you get health insurance. Health insurance is going to cover shit. That's how it should work, no matter what. Like, but this is purely pointed out as just a hatred, bigotry kind of thing. Just going against this group for no other reason than to be a dick. Because it's not really costing us much money when you compare it to diabetes, when you compare it to the cost of dick pills, when you compare it to the cost of what was the other one that I'd read? Rehabilitation. A lot of these guys get to be just, blasted in alcohol and drugs, and they need rehab. So when you compare it to all of those things, it's nothing. It's a drop in the hat. And the only reason this is being brought up is because Trump has a thing against transgender people. That's it. Mm-hmm. I mean, even the military themselves were like, we don't give a shit. It's fine. And that's ultimately all this comes down to. If we're going to, start picking out little things that we don't like and we shouldn't pay this, we shouldn't pay that, then that's fine. But let's start at something that's going to make a difference. This isn't going to make a difference at all. We have so many other concerns, not to mention the fact that we've raised our budget on the military by 17% for this year, which is insane, which is still way too much. We don't even need that much.
It's already way too high.
Exactly. That's my point. And for what? To then say, okay, well, I'm making everybody pay more taxes, but I'm going to go out on a limb against the advice, by the way, of my military advisors, and just attack a minute group of people. That's a spit in the face of anyone who actually pays taxes, for one, but also into this group. This is about being American and having the right to do what you feel like it makes you comfortable. And here's the thing that I find the most appalling about all this is, there was 3 stories that I read. One of them was a girl who used to be or a guy who used to be a girl. So I'm not trying to say, but he anyway was there on September 11th, pulled bodies out of the burning rubble, and has developed all sorts of other problems, not to mention just the transgender thing. And is now been told, hey, you're out of here. Mm-hmm. What the fuck did Trump or anyone else do for any American on September 11th? Fucking nothing. Mm-hmm. That person was down there. There's another story of a transgender person who served in Iraq, who was out there amongst the infantry getting blown up, actually serving with their blood. Anyone who didn't doesn't have a right to say shit because you weren't there. Mm-hmm. And Trump is one of those people. He fucking never served. Mm-hmm. That fucking asshole has no right to say what this person did or not. They went out there for the pride of their country, and you're going to attack them on something small when daddy paid for every fucking thing you've done? Fuck, you've lost more money than what And here's what makes it. This is what makes it disgusting, though. People who helped victims of 9/11 there on that day. People who served in Afghanistan, Iraq, all of these wars that they didn't want to be involved in, I'm sure. When this came down and they're dismissed, they're discharged, it's a dishonorable discharge, right? Yeah. Which in civilian talk is as bad as a felony. Yeah. So these people who've given so much to our country are now unable to even get jobs because it looks like a felon. And it looks like they were, convicted of something really bad. But it was just a personal choice. I mean, how can anyone be behind the idea of saying, okay, you did all this great stuff for us, we're going to fuck the rest of your life with this label just because of a choice you made? And that, if I throw it amongst a whole pile of delusional bullshit that our president does, that's just another one. And here's the thing: I'm going to be 100% on this. I don't really fly like a transgender flag. I have more of a problem, honestly, with the fact that he's delusionally having these phone calls with people than I do the transgender thing.
Right.
But it's a spit in the face of real people.
Well, and here's the thing. I think you took it as, I don't want transgenders in the military. And that's not what I'm saying. I don't have a problem with transgenders in the military. I just don't want to. I don't want the military to pay for the operation. That's it. If you're already transgender, I don't give a fuck. If you are currently in the military and you're transgender, don't give a fuck.
That's most of them that are there. I mean,
I just don't want the military to have to pay for the operation. That's it. I don't care if they serve. I think it's good on them if they do, for all the reasons that you listed.
But they're not allowed to serve anymore.
I know, and that I think is bullshit.
And that's what it really comes down to.
That's all I'm saying is that I just don't want to pay for the operation.
But
that's all I'm saying.
As I was pointing out to you, though, most of them don't even have the operation.
Right.
And the only two that have were retired.
Right.
So why even bring this? But that's the genius, by the way. I will say that of Trump is he points he did this with oh God, what was it? Oh fuck, I can't remember. But he'll kind of niche this little hole out, and he gets a lot of people who don't look into it to say, "Oh yeah, that is fucked up." But then when you actually look into it, it's like, "Oh well, it really wasn't even anything. It was just this I'm trying to remember what it was.
Like while he's been president?
I don't think it was. I think it was before he was actually
During the campaign, maybe?
Yeah. And I can't remember what it was.
Wasn't anything having to do with Hillary, was it?
No, it was like a social issue. And
Mexicans?
I honestly, I wanted to go there, but I don't think
it wouldn't surprise me if you're thinking about when they're older, the rapers.
That's what I was thinking, but then the thing is, I know there is quite a few. I'm not going to give a Trump thing here, but there is a significant.
God damn it!
Rape is uncommon amongst that people, but it does happen. I would say that.
Oh yeah.
So that can't be it. I'm trying to figure out what it is. I don't know, but he does do this where he finds out these little niches that people say, "Oh, we shouldn't have to pay for that. Or we should be against that." And I mean, if you're there again, this is one of those things where I mark it because I'm at that age now where I just realize some things are going to happen, some things aren't, and there's I don't know. There's sometimes the simplest path to your house is the road you live on, meaning that some things are just gonna fucking happen, and when it's put out in front of you, like this kind of thing, it is just a bigoted thing. That's all it is. It's not a save money thing. It's not a this. It's a fucking bigoted thing because that's the simplest way to take it. Mm-hmm. You hate to say that. In fact, I'm one of those people who hates the Trump haters because they say he's a bigot or whatever. I'm like, fuck. There's other things to hate. There's real things to hate about Trump, But I'll just kind of say this: if you're against the operation, the military or us, ultimately us paying for the operation. Mm-hmm. That's fine. I understand that aspect, but you should be having that same conversation about the guys having the operations to get their dicks working again, to have the spouses getting their tits blown up. Those same conversations should hold the same forum to you as the transgender one.
Right.
And I don't see, no one's talking about these other things, though. You know what I mean?
Sorry, I'm trying to find something.
But they didn't, you don't have people saying that. Yeah, well, they shouldn't have. They shouldn't let her. Shouldn't let spouses get their tits enlarged, or military women as well. Like, why are we paying for?
Which I agree with.
Right. Like, I will, but I'm kind of like on this end where I'm like, well, fuck it. It's gonna happen anyway. Just let it happen. Like, there's so many other things that I would fight with. Interesting fact, though. Can I bring this up? Mm-hmm. This whole conversation also through something I've learned in research about the whole thing. The whole $84 million in Viagra?
Yeah.
Did you know a lot of that went, not a lot, but a good number of Viagra and Cialis and shit like that actually goes to paying informants in the Middle East?
Really?
Yeah, because a lot of them, their fucking dick doesn't work. And so they're like, and they're like embarrassed about it.
Yeah.
Because they're supposed to be like manly men or whatever. And we use that as like a currency.
Oh, God.
Yeah, isn't that weird? Like, that kind of blew me away because I was like, man, that's insane how much we spend on that. And then it's like, there's been multiple deals where, like, we've learned about a terrorist plot because the guy was given fucking dick pills. Like, that's crazy, right?
Jesus. The reason I wasn't talking much, I was trying to find a picture. I couldn't find it. It wasn't what I thought it was. It was talking about Trump when he first got elected, how, he's going to fight for LGBT,
right?
All that shit. And then it was a picture of every month something that's happened. And, it started in January where he took down the rights on the White House page and whatnot. Remember that?
I don't, but...
Okay, yeah, that was a big thing. Like, pretty much immediately in January, he took down, on the White House page, there were rights and stuff like that. He took them down. Yeah. And every month there was something different, up to this month where it was transgenders can't join.
That's kind of...
Just reflecting on the tweet that he did put out, saying how he's going to fight for him and stuff. And
you're right.
Every month he's done something more to... If
Yeah.
I can find it later, I'll send it to you.
That's kind of interesting.
Because every month there was something, and I'd forgotten about these things, but like seeing it in a picture with every month, January, February, March.
In fact, maybe I need to start,
and they weren't
or
even
stop yelling at liberals for calling him a bigot.
Well, and
maybe that's the.
It wasn't even like January to February. Takes down right. It was something big, different every month.
Good God.
Yeah.
And that's, like, ultimately, it just goes down as, like, my live and let live kind of mentality. Like, who the fuck cares?
What I say.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't.
Unless you're black.
It's the whole welfare talk that you get into with your, you get in these, like, heated debates with your buddies. I don't want to pay for welfare queens. And it's like, yeah, there are welfare queens. There are. But why are we spending $4 million on Walmart? Like, why is that?
Pay for welfare, period.
Or the Koch brothers, like, all these other, like, you realize if we just stopped paying Walmart, we would have way more. Like, everyone in America would be doing well.
Yeah.
And when people are doing well, they spend money.
Economy goes up.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. Like,
right.
I want jobs, and I'm not saying welfare will do it, because it won't.
It's amazing how many problems you can fix economically and money-wise. Really.
That's the truth.
Money makes the world go around.
That's why we did so well with Clinton.
Yeah. Because
Clinton had Greenspan, and Greenspan was a fucking genius.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that does it for us. Oh, no. One other thing. We're talking about money, and we're talking about assholes. And I would like to... Hey, I got someone stepping in here. We're recording our... Oh, you're fine.
They're burglars.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Sorry.
That's funny. Aside from my sister interrupting us, we were talking about the asshole that is, and good on us. Good on me and Cody. And, it's kind of funny. Because we've been against this guy for a long time.
Yeah.
A guy by the name of Alex Jones, who now everybody knows who he is, but 2 to 3 years ago, we were complaining and cussing and bringing him down. Here's what I find weird, though, and I just kind of thought about it as I was thinking about, like, who kind of started this. It's weird how there was 3 of us. Mm-hmm. 4 of us, technically, if you want to count Chad, and 5 if you want to count Gabe, but Gabe was kind of hit or miss. Mm-hmm. Chad was on drugs. So there's you, me, and Wes.
Yeah.
Wes, huge Alex Jones fan.
Yeah.
By the way, Wes also the biggest flake.
Oh yeah.
Like, might be the dude kind of guy. Like, amongst us, who you would think he would be the least Alex Jones guy.
Right.
Loves Alex Jones.
Yeah.
It's really weird. But, and I don't know, had you heard Alex Jones before I had...
Oh yeah.
Had you really?
Yeah.
I hadn't heard him much before that time that I brought him up. And I started listening to him because it was entertaining. I thought it was entertaining. I had no idea that. It's kind of like I didn't know I was looking at cancer spreading. Like,
I just didn't know what you were looking at.
Right. I was just like, this guy's fucking insane and he's wrong, but it's funny. And obviously,
But you didn't realize the gravity of it.
No, and I honestly, well, if you have common sense, you don't believe this shit.
Right.
Well.
It's amazing how many people don't have common sense.
It's not that common. Anyway, he's huge now.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about him, and fucking even an affiliate we have is kind of sponsored by him. Mm-hmm. Even though we've gone after him, and I personally assaulted him a few times, verbally, of course. The thing is that John Oliver did a piece on him last week, and if you haven't seen it, you should totally check it out. And in that, he really kind of exposes him. And I don't know how many people... It's one of those things, like, just because I do it, I feel like everyone else does. But I'm always shocked by how many people don't.
Yeah.
Do many people watch John Oliver?
I don't feel like as many should. I feel like... I want to say yes, but my heart's telling me no.
Really?
Really.
See, I just feel like everyone watches it.
Because I've talked to a lot of friends, even my liberal friends, they don't know who John Oliver is. Like, I
find that crazy too, because like he pretty much posts the entire show on Facebook and YouTube. Like, you don't have to pay for it.
He's hilarious.
Oh, he's great. The investigative reporting is fantastic. Mm-hmm. It's 25-30 minutes, so it's all wrapped up real quick. Just does a great job, and it's pretty much free.
Yeah,
I mean
really.
You miss the monologue or whatever, but that's really only like 10 minutes of the show. Yeah. You get all the other stuff for free. But what he did to Alex Jones and broke him down was just great. And it was it was kind of the strategy you and I had discussed going in about Alex Jones. Wasn't, okay, we're not going to get people to believe that what he's saying is lies. Yeah. Because if you believe he's true, you're going to believe he's true. Yeah. But we should be debating him and fighting him about is his stupid pharmaceuticals. Yeah. And his dumbass commercials. When I started listening to him, 2 years ago or whatever, and I don't listen to him all the time. I listen to him every now and then. There's so many fucking podcasts out now, it's hard not. I mean, Doug Loves Movies, Tuesdays with Stories, Race Wars, there's so many other things to listen to that it's hard to make time for fucking Psycho Boy down in Texas. But when I did listen to him, it would be a good hour, and then there'd be a commercial. Yeah. And then 45 minutes to an hour commercial, blah, blah, blah. And I'll say at worst in those times, it was 30 minutes to 45 minutes commercial. Mm-hmm. I've timed the show, and even John Oliver does this as well. A third of the show is commercials. Like, that's it. And it's, these, it's for all these pharmaceutical... well, not pharmaceutical. I guess maybe pharmaceutical blends and
right. He's not a far cry from Rush either.
No, he's not.
Because Rush I listen to pretty frequently.
Oh God, how can you do that?
Well, it's the people I work with. He's a big fan of Rush, and so I always listen to my headphones. But on the way there, and it's an hour drive, right? So there's a lot of times where you'll hear the same stuff twice because. I don't know how he does this, but he plays on one station, he'll switch to another, and it's a replay. Oh. Yeah. So I'm like, fuck.
Doesn't it run isn't it like 4 hours long though, his show?
I don't know. I just know that there's been a few times where I'm like, I just heard this. And I realize it's like on a different station.
We is at that liquor store that I'm helping. They listen to it all the time.
Ugh.
Yeah, and I didn't. Oh God, he's horrible to listen to.
Oh, he
like
is.
it's not even entertaining or good radio.
No.
It's I don't. His voice is horrible.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't stand Rush, but no. Alex Jones. At least Alex Jones is kind of entertaining.
Oh yeah.
Like he'll go off
in a
on
pathetic way, but yeah.
But still,
right?
You'll have these. They're just yelling about something and getting all fucking worked up and whatever, and it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Or like, I do not want the frogs gay. You know, whatever. I can't. Even, my throat is all fucked up. I can't even attempt an Alex Jones today. But like, at least that's entertaining.
Yeah.
But all the shit he sells, and he talks about like his colloidal silver and shit like that. There was a thing where he basically pushes it so hard that if you don't get this, you might die. You know,
right.
and like, holy shit, you might die. And you look into it, and the whole, the product he's selling is $40. You can buy the fucking, at GNC, same bottle, same shit, everything's the same, $3. And so much of this is just going to help. That's all he does is he's, like the cartoons. How cartoons started? Mm-hmm. They were commercials for breakfast cereal.
Right.
And that's kind of what, but he's found this niche. And is he going to dumb people?
Is he?
Yeah.
Yes. You have to be. To seriously take stock in what he's saying, you have to be dumb. Dumb or no common sense.
Now, how many liberals and Democrats do you think he preaches to?
And gets through to?
Just and preaches to. How
tries?
What do you think his target for
I don't think he tries with Democrats at all. Yeah,
that's kind of what I was thinking.
Why would you go for a side that already thinks you're retarded? Why not just go for the easy? It's like hyenas.
This is the thing that we were talking about before that I was trying not to facilitate what you were saying, which was 100% true. but what does this say about a certain group of people?
It's like lions and hyenas. They never go for the healthy ones. They always go for the young and the sick and the ones with 3 legs. They always go for the ones who kind of fall behind everyone else.
I don't know why, but like an antelope with 3 legs makes you laugh. Like the idea.
They always go for the ones that fall behind everyone else. And Democrats are the ones who are at the top of the pack. And then
mentally.
The Republicans, right, mentally. And then the Republicans that buy into Alex Jones. Not all Republicans, but the ones who buy into Alex Jones are the sick and the young and the ones who get eaten first. Why go for the tough ones that you have to really strive for when you can just walk up and bite the neck off of some poor antelope? It's
true. It's really true. And it just panders more to the fact that... what?
How dumb are you people?
Yes, yeah, but it's when you kind of break it down a little bit. There also we talked about white conservatives are always the rich Christians, the fundamentalist Christians, but they're kind of stupid.
Oh yeah,
and I say that in the nicest way possible. I'm not saying all are, but there's a good chance because I think like if you believe in a fundamentalist like ideology, your brain can't evolve. Like it has problems evolving. And I'll just say this, like that's the same with the our brothers across the sea in the Middle East.
I don't know if you're aware.
If you're fucking your first cousin and you're praising Allah and it's all fundamental, you don't believe that there's a growth in the Muslim religion. You're kind of that same group.
I don't know if you're aware, but statistically, the most religious state in America is Mississippi.
I don't doubt that.
They're also the dumbest, statistically. This is not bias, this is actual facts. They are the most religious and also the dumbest. Which, by the way, I really thought it was going to be Texas that's the most religious. It's actually Mississippi.
No, I don't doubt it. And it's one of those things, too. I mean, I know I'm one of the kind of I'm not gonna say like a snob or anything because I don't feel that way. I really, even the whole like we were talking about just a second ago about the transgenders. I wouldn't personally like to pay that. I don't think we should pay it, but I don't think we should pay the other stuff either. So I'm just saying, fuck it.
Yeah.
That's all right. Go ahead, do it because it's not. I would only say don't pay for the surgery if you're not gonna not pay for the other surgeries as well.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, a lot of people, like myself, you hope, like, you treat religion, you treat God like you treat like David Duchovny did in the X-Files. Like,
Yeah.
I want to believe, like,
Yeah.
I want, like, so it's not like if you're religious, you're dumb, but it's the fundamentalists
Yeah.
that I think are the, like, I don't know. The idea, I think a lot of Christians have grown a long way,
Yeah.
but there's still a whole lot of them that haven't, and I don't know what to say about that group except for the fact that listen to more Alex Jones, I guess. Like, I don't
Throw your money away. Throw away those $40 that you could be saving.
Yeah, go buy colloidal silver and don't see your doctor because.
Right.
And you should see the doctor Alex Jones has.
I have.
Oh my God, he's great.
He's
he's a pretty man. He's a very pretty man.
Yeah. He's something.
But it's funny because he's like, he's MIT affiliated and whatever. And when they contacted MIT, they're like, no.
Yeah.
Like, he's hung out here.
Right.
But he's not.
I guess if you want to say affiliated, as in he kind of leaves his fart stamps everywhere.
Right.
But like,
yeah, but he
don't.
He didn't
him.
graduate.
Yeah. No, he's pretty, but it goes not far beyond that. He's I wouldn't trust him to give me a hanger abortion. Is pretty much what it comes down to.
I wouldn't trust. Yeah. I wouldn't go to him with advice on an earache.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it's still funny. I mean, this guy.
I wouldn't trust him to diagnose an obvious laceration in my skin.
Right.
Like, what is this? Cancer.
I think you're gonna need some.
You should buy some silver.
Yeah, you need some colloidal silver and some red iodine number 12.
Yeah. And buy some moon rocks to align your chakra.
Yeah, and these
By the
magnetic bracelets.
Have you seen this new trend going around? The people are putting the little rock crystal things on their steering wheel, like where the airbag comes out. You're turning your airbag into a claymore at that point because it's
yes,
because I can align my chakras while I'm driving. That sounds great. Totally got behind. And then I started thinking about like if that thing goes off. And you're dead.
Have you been in an accident where the airbags come
Yes.
out? Holy fuck, that's like getting hit by
like
Tyson.
That. Right. No, it's like that. You almost broke my nose when it happened.
You have roller coaster face. I mean,
no, exactly. So, I mean, those rocks, no matter how little they are, they come at you quick enough. They can be the size of a dime. They'll kill you.
Yeah.
They'll go straight through your skull.
Holy shit, that's stupid.
It's like, you are a driving claymore.
Who's doing this?
People. These fucking hippies.
As a hippie, I mean, it's got to be young, dumb hippies, right?
Is there any other kind of hippie?
Well, there's.
Aside from
there's not old hippies.
You've got like the Tommy Chong, but they're so rare nowadays.
Like it's all dying off.
Exactly. But like now, you just have the dumb hippies, the dumb young hippies.
Yeah, I don't even know if you consider yourself hippie. I mean, isn't and chakra has nothing to do with like moon rocks.
They do crystals and stuff.
No, it's like a monk thing.
No, I know, but it's the same thing. It's the same principle.
But I thought it was more about, at least, I don't know, like...
They work off the same principle that monks do.
But, like, monks don't really, like, use rocks or anything. They, like, there's, like, this, it's just, like, these stance. The stances are, like, their chakra.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So, like, how does that... I don't get the rocks. Like, where the rocks coming?
They're crystals. Not moon
crystals.
Rocks. I misspoke.
Sorry.
But crystals, they're like quartz and...
Oh, God. I've known some women. I have definitely known some women who are all into that shit.
Look, I couldn't tell you. Don't know.
Gotcha.
All I know is that it's something having to do with your chakra alignment and what side your dick falls on, and I don't know.
I
what
have
to tell
definitely
you.
known some women who bought all into that
Yeah.
shit. They still like the harvest. They'll celebrate the
Yeah.
all this kind of shit, and it's like, seriously?
I don't know.
I'm pagan. Ugh. Anyway, that does it for us. We actually went way too long, but that's what happens when we do this, and that's why we need to do it more.
Yeah.
But thanks a lot for listening. We love you.
Bye.